Hello everyone, it's week 3, and this week we are looking at measures of central tendency. So I'd like to explain some of these and show you how to use Excel to do the calculations for you. I've just created a list here of 25 weights of 13-year-olds that were just, selected from students at random. Now, if I would like to find the mean, I'm just going to, I maybe highlight these as I go here. If I would just like to find the mean of this data, I'm going to click in cell D4 and I'm going to go up here and click on formulas. And what I would like is a statistical formula. And so I'm going to click on more functions and statistical shows up. And actually there isn't a mean function. It's called average because that's what the mean is. And now a little dialog box is going to pop up here, and I'm going to move it around so you can see what I'm doing. What I'm going to do is select all of those weights. And notice I'm just using my cursor to drag down and pick them all up. And when I do that, what appears in this box, in this dialog box, is I would like the average of the numbers in A2 through A26. And if I click OK, it's going to give me the average, 101.92. All right, now the median, and again, I'm going to bold and turn this red. Okay, the median we can also use an Excel formula for. More functions, statistical, and this one is actually called median. The median, remember, is the middle value in the data set, assuming that they are ordered. Now, what's going to go on behind the scenes here is Excel is actually going to do the ordering and pick out the middle one, and I will verify that in a minute by showing you how to sort this list. So I'll click OK, and it tells me that the median value, the middle value in this set is 98. Now, let's just kind of verify that. I'm going to select this range again, and I'm going to go up here to Data, and I'm going to select Sort. I'd like it sorted, and I'll just click OK. And now it does the sort for me. And notice that if we have 25 values, the median should be sitting in between 12 and 13, actually, or is it 13 and 14? No, it would be between 12 and 13. Okay, now the median actually should display as 97.8 unless this is set for rounding. So let's come up here and look at that. Um, let's say that we would like to increase the number of decimal places. No, it's coming up at 98. That is interesting because it should be between. All right, let me try this again. Let's do median again here. Um, it's a good idea to double check these, by the way. Yeah, statistical, and we want the median. Maybe I selected one too many cells there. All right, I want A2 through A26. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, look what happened up here. It didn't erase the value that was there. It just added them. Okay, let's get that out of there. No, it's still coming up 98. 12, 24. Oh, it would be the 13th. What am I saying here? Yeah, because we have an odd number of data items. We have 25 data items. That means that there is an exact middle, and it's the one sitting in cell 13, of course. Okay, so I was confusing myself there. All right, so the median is the middle element when you order the data sets. If there is an even number of elements, then it's going to be the average of the two. There'll be two middle elements, and it'll be the average. Okay, the mode is the value that occurs the most. And we have to be a little bit careful with mode because sometimes there is more than one. Now, since I've already ordered this, we can kind of glance down through this and see that these numbers at the top are all just appearing once, and then we have a bunch of 98s, three of them, in fact. There are two 99s, and then there are two 150s. So if I ask for the mode, it should find that 98 again. So let's see, let Excel do its work here and give us the mode. And sometimes there'll be more than one, so I'm going to select multiple modes just in case. And again, I'll give it the 25 values and click OK, and it does find 98 for the mode. Now, the next two measures of central tendency that become important, and we're going to use these a lot in the course, are variance and standard deviation. I've given you the definitions here. Let me kind of highlight this a little bit better. Variance is defined as the expectation of the squared deviation of a random variable from its mean. Now we know that the mean up here is 101.92. All right, so the variance now is looking at how far data is separated from the mean. And the number that appears isn't probably going to be very meaningful at the moment, but it will become more meaningful as we find other uses for the variance. So we're going to look for the function var, and because this is a sample rather than a population, we're only looking at a few 13-year-olds. We're not looking at all the 13-year-olds. We have to um, call it a sample, okay, .s. And it turns out that in our sample, the variance is a very high number, 455.16. All right, the standard deviation is a little more meaningful. The standard deviation is a measure of how far the individual data points tend to be from the mean. If you have a very high standard deviation, that indicates that the data points are spread out over a wide range of values. Now, ours are kind of spread out. The low is 65 and the high is 150. So that's a pretty high range. But let's just see what the standard deviation turns out to be. It's going to be STDEV. And again, we're using a sample. So we'll choose the .s and give it this. And it tells us that the standard deviation is approximately 21, which isn't I mean, it's a significant number. It is indicating kind of a spread of data. All right, and as I said, we're going to be using these two measures very a lot during the next during the next weeks. All right, now outliers simply means, do you have any data in there that's that's sticking out in a crazy way? Um, and I would say in this set, we probably don't. And we might pick that 65 because that is pretty far from the mean. I suppose we could actually pick a couple of these and claim that, any of these here below 80 are sticking out pretty far. We might claim that these 112 through 135 up to 150 are also kind of outliers. But the term outlier simply means data that's out of the ordinary, that is skewing things, that is making the the spread of data greater than or less than it that probably should be. Now, another thing you might want to do here is a line chart, although it's not going to be maybe it's not going to be very significant when you just have a single set of data. You could graph this, of course, but I don't know that you want to. Okay, if you have any questions again about these measures of central tendency, please just post them as replies.